So I'm Adam Howatson, CEO at LogiSense. We are a usage-based billing company. We do I need to clip that on my shirt. We do usage-based monetization for a lot of large organizations around the world. You can see some of the logos on the screen. I promise I'm not going to try to sell you anything today. I want to hopefully make a few remarks that sound clever and get you thinking. And if I do try to sell you something, it will be by tackling you outside the front door, because I promised Sanjay we wouldn't do it in here. I wrote a book called The Usage Economy. It's like a short 150-page primer on thinking about these types of concepts. We've seen dynamic pricing, surge pricing, outcome-based pricing, usage-based pricing, consumption-based pricing. All of these are variations on a theme, which I would call the usage economy or usage-based pricing. So we've got some experience doing this. I'm looking for a page down key here. I may not find it, so I'm going to scroll through. And here's some things to think about. All good. Oh, down there? Thank you. There are lots of good examples of AI out there today. Lots of us have interacted with them. Google DeepMind is accelerating the pace at which we can conduct scientific research and discovery. Things like synthetic biology, protein folding. Those are awesome applications for this type of technology. McDonald's can process drive-through orders, 1 million of them, using nothing but AI. Reduces their cost, it increases the accuracy of the order, so they report. Good example of using AI. Arguably, World Economic Forum says AI is demonstrating real value in lots of businesses. We can believe that or not. How many people in here have core workflows within their business today that are value generating, meaning your business is able to measure that you have saved or made $1 or differentiated yourself in some way that incorporates AI? Does anybody have one of those in place? 2 for 5, a few, half dozen. So this is a room which is ahead of the pack, largely in the industry. I was actually chatting with some folks earlier, one of them from a large consultancy who I won't name unless they choose to divulge themselves. But a lot of their clients are sort of, get AI in and we'll figure out the value later, right? And we're seeing the gloss come off of that in a lot of circumstances. In the news lately, Amazon Web Services used to have a leaderboard. Who is using the most AI tokens in the company? You are to be celebrated. They have taken that down since due to a reported, rumored, but in the press, you can search for it yourself, $500 million overrun on AI expense, because a clever engineer can use up all sorts of tokens without doing anything. They can create a script to just use tokens. I will be #1 on that leaderboard. So setting a reward, of course, induces human behavior, right? And you have to be cautious about how you're inducing behavior in people around the use of AI. So these are some good examples of how AI is used. There are also some examples of oopsies recently in the news. Production databases, source code repositories being deleted. And then asking the large language model, how did this happen? And it says, oopsie, you got me. I ignored every safeguard you gave me and I just did it anyways. Oops. Hard to recover from that. Security vulnerabilities. AI agents possess authentication credentials. You are empowering an AI agent as you would empower a person. You think of a corporation, right? A corporation is a proxy, is a human being. It can do certain things. It can make agreements. It can pay bills. It can receive. And AI, in some ways, is like that. It has a certain degree of agency, and you're empowering it to do so, to go out there. Lots of companies are blowing through AI budgets. Anybody here had an AI budget overrun? I have. A few? Yeah? Good? Not too many, though. That's good. That's good to see, and something to continue to watch. But lots of organizations are blowing through credits pretty quickly. There was a change recently in the way that Copilot does its monetization, the way it consumes tokens. Companies going through months or quarters worth of credits in a day and telling engineering, stop, we have to figure out what's going on, because this token layer is an abstraction. We don't understand what happens inside of that abstraction, and then we get a bill. And the company changed something in the abstraction, in the algorithm that does our billing against tokens, and now I've used 8 months worth of tokens in a day. What changed? How do I change my behavior? How do I talk with my teams? How do we continue to use the technology without having that massive cost overrun? So good examples and bad examples of this. And for all of those in the room, increasingly, we're going to start to see this technology worked into our products more and more. And modern products are often composite products, whether they're technology products or physical products. Garmin is one of our customers. I would call those composite products. I might have a smartwatch. It is capable of communicating with the cloud. It is capable of communicating with a satellite network. I can download recent content. I can update the maps on my fish finder. And those products require a number of different services. Some of them might be AI services. And having control over that and the way that it is monetized is going to become increasingly vital for companies to make real money and to understand the real value proposition and to create earnings off of AI solutions. But there's also risk in this. So that abstraction layer, the capacity to do dynamic or algorithmic, token-based, usage-based, outcome-based pricing, to control that abstraction as you deliver your products to market, which incorporate AI, is going to become increasingly vital. There are very few companies in the world who can afford to create their own large language models like the ones that we're familiar with in our day-to-day lives. It can cost billions of dollars, require hundreds of thousands or millions of GPUs to train a single large language model that is ready for primetime production, to set it out there, the things that we're familiar with, whether that's Gemini or OpenAI or whatever the case may be, Claude, whatever it is. Very few companies can do that. So for the rest of us, we will build that service in to our composite product. And we will rely on a third-party AI technology to fulfill that large language model requirement in the product that we're bringing to market. And if we don't retain control over the commercials and the way that we price that, and the way that we consider AI to be an input raw resource into our products, you're creating a risk if you do not maintain the capacity to do that. So I will say products are increasingly going to become composite. We're going to increasingly build AI into our products, and retaining our capacity to monetize, to change out those components if we don't like what a large language model vendor is doing, the way that they've changed their token abstraction, the way that they're monetizing, the way that they're charging us, we will surrender some control and have some risk. And that's the business that we're in, is providing that monetization engine to afford that capacity for abstraction or that capacity to design how you're going to derive value from the composite or AI products and services that you're building to market. So if you'd like to hear a little bit more about that, you'd like to chinwag about it, hear some more about that thought, compare notes about what you're doing in your organizations, what these risks might look like to you, what the benefits might look like to you, positive or negative, I would love to hear more about it. My name is Adam. I will be here for the rest of the night, and please come up and chat with me. And with that, I would like to invite Ben from ServicePath to come up and say a few words as well. Thank you very much.